Speaker, Baroness de Souza, and ready with his white wand of office, the wand which signifies his authority as the Lord Great Chamberlain Marquis of Cholmondeley, who is in charge of these royal sections of the palace, so in charge of the robing room, in charge of the Royal Gallery, and in joint charge with some of the parliamentary authorities of Westminster Hall itself. Joining the Duke of Norfolk as they go down towards the Sovereign's entrance. This Norman porch, as it's called, because it was meant to be decorated with portraits of Norman monarchs, but that never happened. But it's still known as the Norman porch for that reason. The heralds now lining the route. As the Earl Marshal thanks Her Majesty and says goodbye. So the royal salute is sounded, telling the world that the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh are ready to leave the Palace of Westminster after this state opening of Parliament, the 60th state opening that the Queen has attended. Leaving in the Irish state coach. Emerging, a few hints of sunshine, just a few hints of sunshine in the skies above Westminster. Band of the Welsh Guards standing by. Direction of Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Barnwell at the St. Stephen's entrance. Guard of Honour, found by the 1st Battalion Welsh Guards with the Queen's colour. Sovereign's escort passes Westminster Abbey on the left-hand side and St Margaret's Church on the way back along Whitehall, along this very familiar processional route, through Horse Guards, then along the Mall, back to Buckingham Palace. Back inside the Palace of Westminster, ready for their second departure duties. Duke of Norfolk and the Marquis of Cholmondeley now saying goodbye to the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall after a visit which has been underlined for its significance today. These things carefully choreographed, usually. Just waiting for the carriage to be prepared. So with the news yesterday, Prince will be representing the Queen at the Commonwealth Summit in Sri Lanka in November. It's all being talked about in the context of sharing the Queen's burden of responsibility. And the fact that the Prince and Duchess here today, the first time attending together, also being seen as a statement that the burden is being shared and that the Prince is taking an even more prominent role in these duties at the age of 64. Safely inside the glass coach. Ready for the 12-minute journey back to Buckingham Palace. Glass coach, traditionally the bridal coach, as we know, in some of the royal weddings. Last used, I think, at the Queen's birthday parade last year, and it brought the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh to trooping the colour. So they emerge into a little bit of sunshine, as I said, from the Victoria Tower, the tower which houses many, many thousands of acts of legislation, scrolls and parchment and all kinds of priceless documents. That's where the store is. The Band of the Welsh Guards preparing to sound another royal salute here for Prince of Wales. Unusually calm, of course, on these streets because everything is cleared on state opening day, and the roads down along Millbank, down to Lambeth Bridge, from Parliament Square, all of it locked off really. Security is at a maximum. The great view there, just appreciate some of the splendid architecture of Westminster Abbey. And the Union flag now flying again above the Victoria Tower. At midday, Queen having left, the Royal Standard has been lowered. And the third formal departure, because as I explained earlier, the Imperial State Crown and the other items of regalia, the cap and maintenance, the Sword of State, they have their own procession, just to underline their importance in today's events and to underline their symbolic power, because they represent the monarch's authority and supremacy. There we have a good view there of the cap of maintenance. The long white plumes of the gentlemen-at-arms fluttering in the breeze as Andrew Ford, controller of the Lord Chamberlain's office, prepares to take charge of the crown once again and take it back safely to Buckingham Palace before it's turned then to the Tower of London. Crown jeweller. And the maces. Again, the maces taken back in the procession. And if we do catch a glimpse of them on the way back, the heads of the maces will be positioned in a certain way to pop out of the windows of the carriage, and that again is a reminder of these processions in days gone by. They were there to project the monarch's power. The maces are there as symbols of the monarch's power. So that's why they are really properly on display all along the route. All is ready, so the coach will be on its way very soon. This is Queen Alexandra's state coach, by the way, and dates from 1865, converted into a state coach for the use of Princess of Wales, who later became Queen Alexandra. Fantastic view of the Palace of Westminster. Sand which has been sprinkled liberally by the Victoria Tower so that the carriages can get enough grip as they turn that corner to the right. So the imperial state crown is on its way back to Buckingham Palace. And it's time, now that those departures have been formalised, why don't we just pop into the central lobby and join Sian?
Thank you, Hugh. Well, the MPs